Alright, welcome back. This is M-Dog. And this is where we left off, other than I did do some fishing off the dock, off record. I just fished there for several hours. Did a couple orders for, yeah, I did get a 3 kilo common carp off the dock. I got a bunch of perch. I was going for this 800-gram white bream, but we didn't get there, but we still got a pretty good amount of silver for just a lot of random fish on worms. I actually caught white bream much later in the day than I was expecting to. You can, even though the perch will start mixing in, you can get white bream off and on for all of the morning and maybe even to the very early afternoon. It does seem to completely die off eventually. But again, that could have just been the temperatures this day. What I want to do right now is upgrade our gear a little bit. So we do now have the Common Comfort, and our second feeder rod we got was the Express Fishing Asteria, which is the one that I'm much more familiar with. I showed you that in the last episode. I don't know if we're going to go full on for the third rod. Maybe we save a little longer and go up to the Fantasia. It's kind of that in between. I don't, if this was like, my first time playing main account, I think I would just get 3 Asterias, 3 Lacerti-S, and then from there upgrade straight to the Fortuna feeder. The idea is, this is one of my favorite rods, like early to mid game rods. These feeder rods are amazing, and I haven't necessarily looked down here to compare it with some of the new ones, but at least back in the day that was the idea. Is you just want to buy a rod like every 2 reels, if possible. Buy big on rods; they're not that expensive when you start making more and more silver. And then, because these, with going up to 18 kilo, that can last you through a couple of reel upgrades. But anyway, in this video series, we're trying to actually mix it up pretty intentionally. I want to try out some of the gear that I've never tried before. So for our second reel, we are going to purchase the Lacerti-S 4000S, which in every way, comparing it to the regular Lacerti, just looks like a terrible deal to spend that much more silver on it. But I've never used it before, so let's give it a try. We're going to go ahead and put it on here. And with what we're fishing for, I think we can do the lighter tip. And we'll just put the best line we have, which is this 4.8 line. We will do ground bait still. I don't know which stack, doesn't matter right now. We probably should buy a leader. Probably the same one we were using, and we'll do a 6 hook. We're going to go do a little bit more Chinese sleepers, and then we're going to try to move to Winding Rivulet in this episode. So do I want to go same? I just can't. I probably will do 5 kilo line. I don't think we're going to try to get more aggressive on the line size. Let's see. Because what we want to be careful of is the rod only goes up to, oh, this one does go up to 8. So I guess we could try overloading this one with some. It just gets so expensive for line. It just doesn't seem like it's necessary at this point. So this would be like 66. What does this go to? So 6.8. We could go 6.8 line. All right, so let's don't purchase another leader right now until I make that decision. Let's go with a. I don't know that we have to have a leader. We could try it without a leader, maybe. All right, night crawlers. Let's just see if that totally ruins our bite rate here. You know what? It's just not worth it. Let's get a second 5 kilo leader. Leaders are actually really cheap. Feeder leader, mono, 5 kilo. It's like 1.95 silver. So I don't know what we're talking about. Let's just do it. And how much silver do I have right now? 12. We could get more red worms. I think we'll just stay with what we've got. All right, so let's go check that spot with a variety of sizes. We will use night crawlers, I think, but we'll try a variety of sizes. This actually will hit us to level 12, but again, we're not worried about level. We're more worried about the gear upgrades. But we've now upgraded a second rig. We still got to get line for it, and then we will be working on our third rig. I think we'll go ahead and get the shovel before the third rig. Oh, that's the other thing I did off stream. Sorry, off recording. Is I did make 10 pieces of tea, which all you have to do with that is go to the campsite. Maybe I can make 10 more during one of these recordings and just show you. In a sense, I'm starting to level up cooking, but I'm not so much worried about that at this point. I just want to have tea because eventually I do want to get a shovel, occasionally dig. It's also good to have tea for when it's raining. It does help your comfort. And, yeah, we went too far. And it, you know, when we start getting into some fights that could last a little longer, it will be nice to be able to replenish comfort. All right, so this one is set up. Let's go 8. Okay, that one's got night crawlers and a big hook. I think I actually want to go big hook again on all of them and just see if we can get see if the trophies are still biting. It's always possible that this spot has either chilled out or, you know, I could have fished this spot out. We have spent a lot of time here in the last few days. That is possible, I suppose. All right, we're going to let these... You know what, let's just check where friction brakes are. Somewhere around 22, I think we'll be okay with. And this is our new one. I'm really excited about, especially when we get some real line on there. I'm excited about our new reel and rod. That Lacerti-S. I just, so if you read the description of it in the store, it just says it's made better basically, but it's not a higher star rating than the regular Certi, I don't think. It's just cost a little more. So I guess it has slightly better performance, but I don't know. All right, so we're going to let those soak for just a couple minutes here. And I want to show you I think we have enough silver to do another 10 tea. So I can show you leveling up cooking. If you haven't ever done crafting as far as cooking in this game, I can sort of show you that real quick. So one of our next purchases along with line will be the shovel. We may purchase that from Winding if we end up going there to fish pretty soon. But all right, so we need to go to the grocery store and let's see how much tea is. I always forget. I think it's like, yeah, 6 silver, so we can afford that. You also have to start crafting at the fire. You also have to have both firewood, which we have one, but we'll get another one, and matches, which we have plenty of because you get 50 for 35 cents, so very cheap. But you do have to have firewood and matches to actually start the campfire. And from camp, we may be able to hear it if one of our bells is going off. Should be right over there. I can hear him. If we had binoculars, eventually, I mean, at least the way I play, I would always purchase binoculars. But if I remember correctly, they're like a couple hundred silver, so that might not be the right price. But it hurts a little bit if you try to get them too early in the game. But it's nice. It lets you double zoom. We'll go craft in just a minute, but let's see if we have a fish or two on. All right. So I think cooking is really cool in this game. The hard part is everything just costs silver. Just prioritizing what you want to do when you want to do it is the tough part. To me, this felt like about the right time to start cooking. Not necessarily, again, because I want to level up cooking at this point. It's just because I want to have tea and eventually coffee and then other items available. So you hit Y to start the fire. And then if you hit E to craft, we could make potatoes, but I think I want to hold on to the potatoes. We're just going to do lots of tea. So we have 10 packs of tea we can craft here. And tea is actually relatively cheap. 6 silver. You get 10 packs. And then every time you make a thermos... Oh, that's the other thing, though, I wanted to tell you. You do have to buy the Fiskarna tea kettle, which at least here at Mosquito cost me 20 silver. So again, another... It's like it's under the tools category. I'll try to show you which store it is if I remember when we go back up there. But it's where you purchase the shovel and all the lure making tools and all that stuff. So, and that's all we're going to do. Now, if you ever need comfort, if you stand by a fire, you will gain comfort back slowly. So that's one of the many ways you can get your comfort back if it's raining outside or whatever. And I think the next fish that's a marker actually is going to level us up, which is kind of fun, but I don't hear any bells, unfortunately. Okay. So now if I hold down T, we have, the letter T, we have all of these thermoses of tea in our inventory now. And each thermos, see they're different qualities, each thermos has different portions. So there's, for each one thermos, it's 6. And like we already have 17, 18, 20 thermoses of tea. So 20 times 6, we can drink tea over 100 times with just the little bit of silver we've spent so far crafting it. And once you have the shovel, you dig for bait, and then that takes all of your energy away. So you drink a tea or two to pop it back up, and then you can dig again, and you just kind of keep going. It's something to do while you are waiting for fish, and it also is giving you bait. I mean, the higher you level it, the more exotic baits you'll get, but if nothing else early on, you'll get earthworms and then redworms soon, and eventually night crawlers, and those will be common. I mean, you'll get those quite frequently when you dig. So there's level 12. And so the XP required to level is now starting to change a little more dramatically. I think we needed just over 10k from 11 to 12. Am I remembering that right? I guess I could go back and look, but it was something like that. Now we need 31K. But again, what you really need is silver. So if you're wanting to do premium, but you're trying to figure out when's the best time to do it, obviously you can do it anytime you want. But if you do it from level 1, you're going to sort of have to ignore what level you are, because you're going to out-level your silver intake. But in my opinion, like I said in an earlier video, I think you really start to feel it around level 20, and at that point maybe it's worth going premium if you're thinking about doing that anyway. You also can send things back and forth to other players with premium, which being able to trade is a nice option, especially if there's certain things at a store that is maybe it's out of stock where you are. It's cool that you can see that even during the day you can see the smoke from the flame, the campfire over there. You could offer to trade a higher level player something that's equal or more value, so that you're not just going around asking for handouts, but you can actually offer to trade something that would be advantageous for another player. Yeah, we didn't get over here set up till pretty late, and then all this running around. It's we may just have to go to Winding as is and make do. Chinese sleepers are definitely still coming out. Seems like it's a little slow right now, but they're definitely still coming out. But I don't think we sit there and wait any longer. I think we're ready to go to Winding. We can always purchase line and other stuff there. Time for a little change of scenery. Let all the cafe orders here at Mosquito reset. Over the long haul, I definitely prefer Mosquito as a feeder bottom fisherman. If you are really into spin fishing, obviously Winding is going to be a better experience. But for bottom feeder fishing, I prefer Mosquito. It may be too soon. I think I got free worms. Hopefully it's been more than a day ago, but I'm not sure if it was or not. It might not have been. This might be too soon. We did get it. I like it shows the ratings here. It's got a 0 rating for spinning here, but bottom and float are off the chart here at Mosquito. Winding is mostly about spinning. Oldberg, not as much about spinning. Belaya, full spinning. We can go to Oldberg and Belaya now technically, but due to our level. But I'm going to wait till we get that third upgraded rig, I think. I'm having so much fun at Mosquito, I don't really feel the need to rush off. By the way, I forgot to show you the, not the workshop, the, I guess we do want to purchase a map, don't we? 5 more silver. The, where is it here? They do have one, don't they? Yeah, there's the hardware store. So the hardware store is where we purchased the tea kettle. 20 silver. Shovels 38. That's one of the next things we want to purchase at some point. Farmer's Market is here. It's the only places you can get. Only place you can get some of these items: feed, chicken, egg, potatoes, wheat grain, and bacon. And now we have a map. I think we want to go. Off to the right here. I have no idea. There's 2 or 3 nice chub spots here. I don't know if they are going to be active, but it is worth trying. I did pick us up some grasshoppers. When we were at Mosquito, I picked up 30 grasshoppers just in case we had the chance to do this. Which it's nice that those are in stock. There have been times where they have definitely not been in stock. So this is kind of a nice little spot for chub. And I think we actually want to go towards that. It is not, I don't even know if we want to clip it because it's a really small distance. All right, so let's go with, we'll go with 10 hooks and the grasshoppers. And let's just see if we can, all right, let's see what it looks like at, well, let's try 10 first and see where it seems to land. 10 might be a little bit far. Let's try 9 this time. I don't know, maybe 10 was better. All right. Those 2 Lacerti-S look so similar, don't they? So the Lacerti-S is purple, and the regular Lacerti is blue. Looks pretty cool in those rigs, though. I am going to, just for the fun of it, for a minute here, we're going to cast this a couple times. Wow. Is that a perch? Yeah. Until I see kind of if the chub are here and also how strong they are, I don't necessarily want to put the weak line down. Chub maybe do better at night. I can't remember if when it gets a little later, if they'll pick up. And not that we have let's see what we call it here. It's a roach, right? But if you're gonna catch roach, this is the place to do it. So it looks like this is, yeah, the reason why the Fishing Spark 2000 is on here, because this is a little, this rod only holds 1 or 2,000 reels. So I was gonna say we could put the 3,000 on there now that we're not using all of our 3,000s, but we can't on this rod. I don't know that we would catch perch after perch like this if it wasn't like the perfect time of day to be fishing, in terms of just like a little later in the afternoon, early evening. It probably does pretty good first thing in the morning, but I bet it slows down during the middle of the day. We sure enough are catching the perch right now, aren't we? This will be interesting because obviously this fish is too big for this rig, but where's it gonna go? I mean, how far down this river can it go? Maybe it can go pretty far, I'm not sure. Got about 40 meters left on the line before we do get spooled. I guess it's just winding its way around the river. And we can't run, there's a boundary that keeps us from chasing it. At least for now, it looks like maybe it gave up the fight. We'll take whatever we can get back on the reel while the getting's good. I'd say it's not a pike because that amount of time, surely the pike would have bitten through the line. I would think. Well, it looks pike-ish, doesn't it? No. No, it doesn't. It looks like an... Is that an eyed? Asp, sorry. It's an asp. Whew. Okay. Well, that's one way to do it, I guess. Whoa. That's a chub. That's why we don't want to have the light line out. Or an eyed. Okay. Maybe what we can do is go with like a put it in the same spot. Maybe it'll, you know, maybe there are roach and stuff like that in that spot. I don't know. In terms of like the fishing you do at Mosquito translating to the fishing you do here at Winding, the place that it most directly translates is if you go to sort of the pond area, which you have to cross the bridge and go around here. And we could fish for crucian gibble, even tench, bleak. I mean, there's a lot of stuff, common roach. But again, I feel like mosquito's better at that stuff. I mean, you can fish at the pond for a change of scenery, but there is common carp here. Question is simply, is are the chub active? I was trying to see what people have been saying on the forum. I mean, not on the forum, but on Discord about Winding Rivulet. So it looks like people are catching, like, just off worms. People are catching a lot of river mussels and zebra mussels, and even crayfish off at 90-104. So that's like for higher level players, they're trying to get bait, gold baits. Donuts Rough does get caught at night here, I think. Just like regular rough. Worm or red worm. And it looks like 90-104 is a good spot for that as well. So, I don't know. But we'll see if the chubs start biting here now that it's nighttime. I might need some help with winding. It's just been a long time. White bream. think we would have had a chub by now. If the chub we're getting. I have... Is that spot? I feel like there was another spot I also fished for chub at back in the day. I'm not really sure though. Is that on the grasshopper or the worms? Worms again. Let's give it past midnight to make sure they don't just like suddenly show up. It's a roach again. And if they don't, we'll go toss somewhere else for a little bit. It's a nice nace. If you could get on those consistently, that would be good. I've only been able to target nace at Volkov. I don't think I've ever done it here. So I guess if we don't have one by 1 a.m., we're going to move. Do keep this spot in your mind, though. I think this is one of the spots that, when it's active, it's nice. We are high enough level we can test paternoster and we can test carp hooks. I still think it might be classic hair rig before we can use boilies. What? How is that possible? Okay. I'm like, something has obviously taken the bait downstream. Oh, it's a river mussel. is the infamous chub. So there's one. If chub are really active, especially if you're climbing up to like near trophy size or occasionally getting a trophy, it can be a good source of silver XP, and it's just fun. Hmm. Alright, it's too slow, isn't it? Oh, don't tell me there's been a fish on. How long's it been on? Oh my goodness. And that's the lightest. I just don't know how it doesn't notify us. So chub must be kind of like, what is it that used to do that to me at Volkov? It might have been eyed. Or sometimes they would just straight up take your bait, get hooked on, but then they're just content to just sit there, just kind of hang out for a bit. With how tight those are, any little like vibration should give us a bell recognition. I guess if you have picker rods, they might be good for chub. Extremely sensitive. Maybe another river mussel? I don't know. Crayfish. Not a marker though. Now I'm just curious. Now I'm just wanting to make sure that they're not going to just like start popping off in the early mornings after the sun's come up. What in the world? Come on, Spark. You can do it. Doesn't that just feel like a snag or something? I guess it's not. That's weird though. I'm really curious what that is. Oh, there it is. It is a chub, isn't it? It's the riskiest catch. That was weird. They've all been markers. I don't know which bell that is. Might be. If we're gonna fish chub, we would have to put one of each type of bell on, so we could see which line it was. All right. I think it was the worm line that was making the noise. It's still moving. I don't know. Whoa. So weird. Oh. If this is a chub, do we put them back in? It's not. Okay, that made it easy for me. So if you want to live dangerous, there's a pretty deep hole all around here around camp. If you want to try to get catfish, burbot. This spot here at times is a nice spot to float fish for small fish. The floats will just kind of drift with the current. This is also a place where you can catch bream at night. Either one of these two spots. Garlic dough, red worms might work. That's where the river feeds into what becomes the little pond area over there. I spent a lot of days on my main account when I first started playing this game. Right here. Casting across sort of into that hole. I don't remember what I was fishing for though. It was a long time ago, and I don't know why I was doing that. It might have been way back then, burbot were biting there or something. Maybe somebody was watching me fish, trying to get me to hook into something big. I don't really know. Or maybe roach and stuff are in that hole too. This is back to the main part of town. Like I said, you cross over the bridge right up here. The footbridge, and then just walk straight down and over into the pond. Blue bream. I don't know that I've ever been on blue bream here at Winding. Whoa, we actually have that. That's 9 silver. I'll take that. So 11 silver for the chub. I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, again, if they're popping off, that's pretty good silver. And that crazy eyed we caught. Oh no, it was the asp that was so crazy on the spinning rod, but that's only 4 silver. Asps are good silver when when they get big. So 45 silver, and it hardly felt like we caught anything. It's not terrible, but you want them to be popping off a little bit more of that just to stay awake, I'd say. That bleak order would be possible here. Of course, the sleeper order. But overall, I just enjoy mosquito more, I think. We've got 58 silver. We can at least get a little nicer line, I think. Thinking about saving up for this. Still haven't decided if we want to overload a little bit though. We can do that at mosquito if we decide to though. We need a full reset on cafe to get some good ones again. Let's just catch a couple random fish if we can. One thing that's nice, you can go ahead and look at recipes. As you get a little higher in ground bait, there'll be some recipes like with gibble carp mix. You know, all we got to do is sub something in for millet porridge, which is basically what we've been making. But you can kind of look and see what likes what. So roach mix, use the crackers and substitute something for these two. But until you level it up some, you just don't have many options. What size hook do we have on? Good grief. Well, we get to see our new rod and reel in action here. It's a small common. A 10. There we go. Only the biggest of gibbles. Catching too many crucians and gibbles can be a little mind-numbing. It's fun to target other things as well, but these are certainly plentiful. These with roaches, and there will be spots at Old Berg where we could just do this all day and just fill our net with crucians and gibbles and stuff like that. Perch. Oh, and actually, I finally decided to start clipping here off the dock. So I've been doing about a 20 clip to catch those white bream, and it seems to be about right. There's no doubt about it. This dock has just been really good lately. If you just want to be fishing in one little spot, you could do a lot worse. There's a lot of options according to what bait you use and which direction you cast in. Oof. That happens a lot these days with the new bite mechanics. Although, to be fair, I've not seen a trophy come off of this dock recently in all the fishing we've been doing here. It's probably just a tench. Some nice fish, a lot of money we've made off of white bream, but we haven't seen a trophy yet of any species. Yeah, it's a perch. It's a fatty perch, though. It's a big perch. Oh, jumping fish off the boat. It doesn't really get old, does it? You know what? I should have tested that. That might have been a net loss there. I'm not sure. Throwing that crucian that was over a kilo for an 8 silver order, I'm not sure. Wait. No, the crucian wasn't over a kilo. Never mind, we're fine. Right? I can't remember. Here, I can look. We had a 931 crucian. And, yeah, the perch was the one that was over a kilo. Oh, blasted. You just catch, like, so many decent fish in this spot that you end up making more silver than you realize. You throw in a few cafe orders and it's just amazing. I say we live on the edge and put that 6.8 line on there. I mean, this gear is replaceable if something crazy happens. It's not overloading it much, and it's not overloading the rod at all, so it just gives us a little bit more power to work with. Tap into that hidden power of the reel. 66 silver. So if we get 6.8, what theater leader are we gonna get? Can't use those yet. So we really, oh, I guess 6.8. Why can't we do, oh, because we have to be level 14. Because this is what we want, 6.4. What level can you start making leaders? Oh, but you have to get the tool. What is it that you need to make leaders? This? Yeah. That's 386 silver. We're not doing that. That would be quite the advantage if you could, you know, have access to that tool at a low level to make leaders. Be more precise in your leader sizes. But that would be a little overwhelming. For new players because you can also change sizes. So until we can get the bigger one, we would just be using 5 kilo liter. Correct. Correct. So till level 14, we'd be using a 5 kilo liter. So is it worth having? I guess it doesn't matter if the line's a little big because the liter will be 5. Thing that matters is it's a little thicker line, so a little less line goes on the reel. In the big picture, this line isn't that expensive. I know it looks expensive because it's most of the silver we have, but as we move forward, it won't be that expensive, so it's not something we can't come back and change. Let's see, 0.25 millimeters. It's a big deal in terms of spool length. I think we go with the 5. I think we just go with the 5 for now. It's 5.2. Wait, this is gray. This is white. All right. It's now set up. And ready to go. Yeah, you can tell the difference in gray and white. So this first rig is a better rig. It's a stronger rod. I really like this rod, but I do like the way this one looks. And I like the way the traditional Lacerti looks too. It's got like an upgraded handle on it. The handle does look better on the S. So it's got 186 meters on there, and that's got 209. 0.22, 0.21. I don't understand why this has more. That's 350. Yeah, I don't understand why that has more. Huh. I know I'm tired, but I don't get it. It's got less line on the spool, and it's 0.21 millimeters. I don't know. I'll have to look at it when I'm less tired. Okay. Oh, let's sell our fish. How did I not sell our fish yet? That's so weird. All right, as always, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.